Good morning and welcome to this morning's assembly, all about space. It's going to be out of this world, and I gave you a little clue in Friday's celebration assembly. How wonderful would it be to be in outer space? Absolutely fantastic, and I bet the views would be incredible. Being able to see all the different planets, the suns, the moons, it would be absolutely breathtaking. Now, you've got so much to explore. I mean, the world is literally your oyster this week because you can take this in any direction you want, but preferably up. Look up the wonder that is out there above us. About questions, I often wonder, what is the solar system? It's feels like such a big question, but I've got a great little clip here that tries to explain it. Have a watch.
Serious scientists, like myself, believe our solar system was formed by the collapse of a giant cloud of gas and rock and is held together by the gravitational pull of the Sun. 8 planets orbit the Sun. The closest are the 4 rocky planets. The remaining gas planets inhabit deeper space. The solar system is also home to many other cosmic bodies, including asteroids, moons, and dwarf planets such as Pluto. What's this? Oh, no!
You should know where all the planets are. They orbit the Sun, which is actually a star. Mercury and Venus are first in line. Earth used to have dinosaurs, now it's our time. Mars is next, and rocky and red. Jupiter made of gas, not somewhere you can tread. Saturn's got rings and is gas too. Uranus and Neptune are cold and blue. You should know where all the planets are. They orbit the Sun, which is actually a star. You should know where all the planets are. They orbit the Sun, which is actually a star.
Time for a song, and I hope you're liking our themed songs. And this week is no different. We've managed to find a great song called Planet. It's just a short version of the song that we've actually got, but have a go. Again, I'm going to put it in twice, once so you can listen to it, and then again so you can sing along. Hope you enjoy this. It's called Planets.
Venus, Earth and Mars.
watch out, it's a meteor shower. Oh my goodness, watch out at home, they're coming for you. Oh, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Nobody's going to get hurt. No teachers were hurt during this. Talking about teachers, we've had a few more teachers in school this week, starting to gear up for our online sessions and thinking about transition and starting to think about our next academic year. I roped a few of them in. I've asked them to come up with a great space joke for you. Hector started this a while back when I saw him doing some themed jokes. So here are some of the staff at school sharing some great space jokes.
Did the sun go to school to get brighter?
What was the first animal in space? The cow that jumped over the moon.
What did the alien say to the cat? Take me to your litter.
What's a spaceman's favourite chocolate? A Mars bar.
Why did the cow go in the spaceship? Because it wanted to go to the moon.
Why don't aliens eat clowns? Because they taste funny.
Why did the cow go to outer space? To visit the Milky Way. What do planets like to read? Comet books.
Good morning. Here's my space joke. Why are nightclubs no good on the moon? Because there's no atmosphere.
Why did Mickey Mouse go to outer space? Because he was looking for Pluto!
Well done to the teachers. Weren't there some great jokes there? Absolutely brilliant. I did enjoy those. I wonder, can you come up with any space jokes? Have you got any little sneaky jokes up your sleeve that you can share with us? If so, again, post them on Seesaw. Let your teacher see them. Bet they'd love them. They're probably better than their jokes too. When I think of space, there's so many questions that jump into my mind. How big is space? Why do things float in space? What are shooting stars? I've seen some, but what actually are they? How many planets are there? How do you actually get into space? What's space junk? And are there mountains and oceans on other planets? These are all questions that you might want to have a look into this week. Now, we all know what goes up must come down. So I suppose one of my questions would be, we get really excited about seeing astronauts and rockets going up into space, but how do they get back down again? I mean, it takes thousands and thousands of people to get a rocket and astronauts into space. Once they're up there, they haven't got those resources to get them back down. So I wonder how that actually works. Here's a short clip to show you how.
After 6 months of living and working on board the International Space Station, astronauts have to make their way back down to Earth. 3 of them cram into the Soyuz capsule with not much more room than the backseat of a car and drop the 400 kilometers out of orbit and back down to Earth. After the capsule detaches from the space station, a quick blast on the thrusters slows it down and gravity does the rest, pulling it back to Earth. The capsule slows from about 28,000 kilometers an hour in orbit and drops into the Earth's atmosphere, streaking across the sky at 800 kilometers an hour. And this is a pretty bumpy ride and one of the most dangerous parts of the mission. We have to get the re-entry angle just right. Too shallow and the capsule will bounce off the Earth's atmosphere like a skimming stone and off out into space. Too steep and the capsule will burn up on re-entry. Even getting the angle just right means the capsule glows white hot, which is why it has a special protective heat shield. And this is because of the friction with the Earth's atmosphere.
It's just the force of gravity that brings the astronauts back to Earth. As Isaac Newton may have once said, what goes up must come down. But slowing the astronauts down, well, that's a completely different matter. How on earth do you stop something that's travelling at 17,000 miles an hour? Well, to be honest with you, it's the Earth's atmosphere that does most of the work. As the craft enters the Earth's atmosphere, the air rushing past the craft creates friction. And that force, which is also known as air resistance or drag, that slows the aircraft down. But if something rubs past another object fast enough, like air whooshing past a spacecraft at high speed, then things are going to get extremely hot, because friction creates heat. Just like, you know, when you get your hands and you rub them together really, really hard, then they get hot as well. Now, people in the olden days used this idea of friction creating heat to rub sticks together to make fire. But that used to take a long time. So instead, I'm going to use this drill, and I'm going to do it on this little bit of wood and see if we can create some heat. So what we can see with our heat-sensitive camera is that as the drill whizzes round, it rubs against the plank so much that it creates enough friction and heat to create the smoke.
There you go, can you see the smoke that's coming off? Just there? Now that is because the heat is being created by the friction of the drill rubbing on the wood. And I can smell the smoke as well from here. So there you go. Friction creates heat.
So if, like the astronauts' capsule, you're travelling through the Earth's atmosphere, things do get extremely hot. Over 1,600 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt steel. And for the final few miles, the astronauts have another trick to help them. The capsule unfurls huge parachutes. The largest is 10,000 square metres, about as large as 4 tennis courts, a massive surface area that catches the air, acting like a natural brake. This slows the craft down to a safe speed, bringing the astronauts safely back to Earth.
Wow, just look to the side of me and you will see a rocket launching off into space. It is an absolutely fascinating thing to watch, and I hope one day that I will be able to watch that happen in person. It's something that I would love to see happen. So rockets, absolutely amazing. And I know that this will make a great activity this week. It can be a craft activity. You could use some recycling, some bits of craft that you've got around the house, and you could design and build your very own rocket to send into space. How cool would that be? You might decide to use Lego to do it. Can you build a Lego rocket to send up into space? I would love to see pictures of them. So take pictures of either your craft rocket or your Lego rocket. Get it on Seesaw so that we can have a look. What a great activity for this week, especially if it's a bit wet outside. That would make a great indoor activity. But make sure you don't make too much mess. Don't think mums and dads would like that. A couple of weeks back, when we were looking at famous and significant people, I spoke about Helen Sharman, who was a female astronaut that went into space. And she did a brilliant interview, and it's worth going back and having a look at that if you didn't manage to see it the first time. She's a really influential person, and I loved listening to her talk about her own experience in space. Now, we know obviously Tim Peake, he's been into space, and I'm going to show you a little clip of his in a moment. But I wonder what it would be like to be an astronaut. Absolutely incredible. And here is Tim Peake talking about his experiences in space and answering questions from children your age a while back.
Tim is with us right now. Thank you for coming into Newsround. We're delighted to have you.
We're delighted to be here. Thank you.
Well, Tim, we've had hundreds of questions for you from Newsround viewers across the country, so I'm going to get cracking with them, get through as many as possible. So the first one is from Isabel in Devon and St Mary's School in Haddington. They want to know, what was your favourite moment?
So many to choose from, but I think the favourite moment for me was going out of the airlock on the spacewalk and just descending into that black abyss. And for the first time, just looking around, it was absolutely magnificent.
I can imagine. Now, Georgia from Newbury says, one day I want to go to space like you. How did you feel the moment that you landed back on Earth?
Yeah, we land back on Earth with a big bump. So I was just grateful that everything was all right, me, Tim and Yuri okay. And you feel very heavy instantly. All of the documents in the capsule just went straight down to the ground and your arms and legs feel heavy towards the ground. And then you get pulled out of the capsule and put into that seat. But you don't feel particularly well for about the first day.
I can imagine. A lot of people have asked about your family, of course, who you left at home during the 6 months. Year 6 from Seaton Junior School want to know, what did your kids say when you got back?
Oh, they were just delighted to see me back, and it was just straight into life as normal, playing with Lego and reading Star Wars, the rest of it.
Was it difficult being away from them?
It was hard being away from them, but I was able to talk to them almost every day, and once a week I had a video conference with the family as well, so I felt quite well connected with them.
You're in touch a lot. Zara, who's 8 from Hounslow, wants to know, what did you miss most about space when you were back on Earth?
I miss the view enormously. I mean, every day you are spoilt. You go to the cupola, you look out, you always see something different. You see the planet changing, different cities, different countries. And to not have that on a daily basis is a real shame.
I can imagine. Wow. Gabriella, who's 10 from England, wants to know, were you ever scared being in space?
Well, yeah, there's a couple of moments. I mean, you're always apprehensive about certain things. Going on a spacewalk is high risk. Things can go wrong. The launch and the landing as well, things can go wrong there. But, you know, we are trained so well that if things do go wrong, we always know what to do.
Does anything scare you?
I think being scared about certain things is healthy. You need to be scared, but the then thing is to then take that fear and say, well, what's making me scared, and how am I going to get over that?
Wow. Another one on the similar theme, Zebra class at Newlands Primary School want to know, what happens if you cry in space?
So, of course, astronauts don't cry. But if you were to cry in space, the water just sticks. It's got lots of surface tension, and that's why it forms a sphere if you just let it go out of a straw. So the water would just pool in your eye. It wouldn't really go anywhere because your eye socket forms a nice area for the water. It would just form a little bubble on your eye there, and you'd be able to see everything like it was through a magnifying glass.
Did you ever shed a tear yourself?
No, I didn't. But I did try putting water on my eye just to see what it was like.
Tim, thank you so much for coming in.
Now, talking about space, I have to say that I'd had a great conversation with Alfie a few weeks ago, actually, because I noticed on Seesaw that he was doing lots of reading around Star Wars, and it just so happens that at the weekends I've been going back and watching the Star Wars films. They're absolutely brilliant. My favourite are the original 3, I have to say. But there was a great debate over which order we should watch them in. So whether we should watch them in chronological order, so a time-ordered sequence, or whether we should watch them in the way in which the films were originally released. So quite a debate in our household about how they should be watched. But we're nearly through them. I'm up to episode 7 we watched last weekend. So this weekend I will be watching the next episode, so episode 8. So really, really excited about that. And I wonder how many of you are Star Wars fans, young Padawans, whether you want to spend your week learning the art of the Force. Have you got a lightsaber? Have you got a Star Wars costume? Again, take some pictures, get them on Seesaw. I'm excited. You see, this project, it can include some of your favourite things. So if you want to sneak in a bit of Star Wars, that's absolutely fine by me. Well, thank you for joining me, and I hope that's given you lots to think about, and I hope you're excited about this week's learning project. Have a good think about the questions that you would like to research all about space. There's so many opportunities, lots of things for you to look into. Hope you have a great week. We'll look forward to seeing some of you on your MS Teams sessions online. Have a great week, and I will see you at the end of the week for the celebration assembly. Bye. Uh-oh, what is that noise I hear? Oh, it looks like an alien spaceship is coming to take me away. There's only one way to save me from this. You are going to have to sing this next song really, really well, and I might be saved, and they might choose not to take me up into space. Help me out. Let's get singing. Smile.
With